When your cat suddenly walks away or bites you after you've been petting them for a few minutes, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Most of us assume they're just being moody or unpredictable. But behind that sudden shift in energy, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do, setting a boundary. In the feline world, these are the unspoken rules of consent. And if you miss them or respond wrong, which most owners do, you might be unknowingly breaking the trust you've worked so hard to build. You aren't just annoying them, you're telling them that you don't speak their language. Let's start with what those mood swings really mean and the rules your cat expects you to follow. 1. The consent rule. It's not a request, it's a test. Have you ever walked up to your cat while they were sleeping and started patting them, thinking you were showing love? Most people think that because a cat is there and looks soft, they are consenting to being touched. But here's what's actually happening. Cats view unsolicited touch very differently than humans do. In their world, physical contact is a high-stakes social currency. When you initiate the touch without asking, you're bypassing their autonomy. A 2019 study from the University of Nottingham found that cats are significantly more stressed when humans initiate the interaction compared to when the cat is allowed to lead. Think about that for a second. By trying to be affectionate, you might actually be causing them a microdose of anxiety. This is why they sometimes randomly nip at you. It wasn't random to them. They've been sending subtle stop signals for minutes. This reveals that your cat views you as a partner, but only if you respect their right to say no. And by the way, if your cat ever turns their back to you after a long petting session, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that specific gesture really means at the end, and it's something most owners wish they had understood sooner. 2. The eye contact rule. The slow blink is a contract. Do you ever find yourself staring at your cat from across the room because they look so beautiful? The common assumption is that we're just admiring them, but in the wild, a prolonged, unblinking stare is a direct threat. It's the behavior of a predator locking on to its prey. Researchers who study feline behavior, specifically in a landmark 2020 study from the University of Sussex, confirmed that cats use the slow blink intentionally as a social signal. But what the study also revealed is that cats who receive slow blinks back showed measurably lower cortisol levels. This means your response literally changes their body chemistry. When you blink slowly and then look away, you are following the unspoken rule of safety. You are telling them, I see you, I could watch you, but I choose to look away because I trust you. This translates into an immense emotional impact. To a cat, your willingness to break eye contact is the ultimate proof that you aren't a threat. It's a silent contract of peace. And by the way, if your cat ever turns their back to you after a long petting session, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that specific gesture really means at the end, and it's something most owners wish they had understood sooner. 3. The scent rule. You are a walking canvas. Have you ever noticed your cat rubbing their forehead or cheeks against your shins the moment you walk through the front door? Most people think they're just saying hello or asking for food. While they might want a snack, here's what's actually happening. You've been out in the world and you've come back smelling like strangers. To a cat, your clean or outside smell is a disruption to the safety of the home. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, forehead, and the base of their tail. When they rub against you, they are depositing pheromones to reclaim you. They are essentially painting you with their scent to make you smell like family again. This isn't just marking territory, it's an act of inclusion. They are weaving your identity into theirs. By letting them rub against you, you are accepting their family scent. It's how they create a communal group scent that signals to their brain, everything is okay, my human is back in the tribe. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your cat, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more cat owners who want to love their cats the right way. 4. The kitten rule. Why they treat you like a mother. Does your cat ever knead your lap with their paws, often called making biscuits? We often think it's just a quirky habit or something they do when they're comfortable, but this behavior is ancient and primal. It dates back to the very first moments of their life. Kittens need their mothers to stimulate milk flow. In the wild, adult cats don't knead. It's a juvenile behavior. However, domestic cats have adapted this specifically for their relationship with humans. Animal cognition research shows that cats often view their primary caregivers as pseudo-mothers. When they need you, they are regressing to a state of total vulnerability and dependency. They are following the rule of eternal childhood. They are telling you that in your presence, they feel as safe as they did when they were just days old, tucked away in a nesting box. Think about that for a second. Your cat, a literal apex predator, has decided to never grow up around you because you provide a level of security that allows them to remain a kitten forever. 5. The presence rule, the silent shadow. Have you ever noticed your cat following you into the bathroom or just sitting in the same room as you, even if they're not interacting with you? You might think they're being clingy or perhaps just bored, but cats are incredibly selective about who they share their space with. In a multi-cat household or in the wild, passive proximity is a massive sign of trust. They don't do this with strangers or people they don't fully trust. If your cat chooses to nap 3 feet away from you while you work, they are following the rule of shared vigilance. Because cats are both predators and prey, they are always on. By sitting near you, they are essentially saying, "I trust you to watch my back while I rest, and I'm here to watch yours." They don't need to be touching you to love you. In fact, for a cat, sitting nearby without touching is a more sophisticated form of companionship. It's the selective choice. They could be anywhere else in the house, but they chose the 3-foot radius around you. 6. The ultimate revelation, the vulnerability of the back. Remember earlier when I mentioned your cat turning their back to you? This is what most owners never realize is the deepest, most emotionally powerful point of feline psychology. When your cat walks up to you, turns around, and sits with their back facing you, many people feel ignored or even slighted. You might think, well, I guess they're done with me. But here is the ultimate revelation. In the animal kingdom, exposing your back is the most dangerous thing you can do. It's the one place they cannot see a strike coming from. When a cat turns their back to you, they aren't ignoring you. They are offering you the ultimate gesture of vulnerability. This is the rule of total surrender. They are saying, "I trust you so much that I don't need to see you to know I'm safe." This is a callback to the evolutionary instinct of a creature that is always looking for an exit. By turning away, they are closing their exits. They are choosing you over their own survival instincts. This is what most owners wish they had understood sooner. Your cat isn't being cold. They're being more honest with you than they are with any other living thing. 7. The warning, the rule of disappearing. What does it mean when these rules suddenly stop being followed? If your cat usually follows you into the kitchen, but suddenly spends all day under the bed, or if they usually love their scent marking ritual, but now flinch when you touch them, do not ignore it. Cats are masters of hiding pain. Because of their place in the food chain, showing weakness is a death sentence in the wild. When a cat breaks their unspoken rules of interaction, it's often the only sign you'll get that they are physically unwell or deeply stressed. Animal behavioral scientists call this behavioral depression. If the rituals stop, the bond isn't breaking, the cat is struggling. Don't take it personally, and don't try to force the interaction. Instead, observe. This is where you have to follow their final rule, the rule of protection. When they can't ask for help, you expect them to notice the silence. So, the next time your cat blinks slowly at you from across the room or turns their back to you after a long day, remember the opening question. Do you actually know what they're trying to say? Everything we've talked about, the scent marking, the kneading, the selective proximity, points to one thing. Your cat isn't just a pet living in your house. They are a complex, emotional being operating on a set of ancient, unspoken rules. When they set a boundary or offer you their back, that's not them being moody or dismissive. That's trust. That's vulnerability. That's a predator choosing to be at peace. And that simple behavior, the slow blink or the gentle rub against your leg, it was never small to them. It's their way of saying you're their person. And it shouldn't be small to you either.